to the Super Speedway.
Welcome to episode 263 of the Super Speedway podcast, recorded Tuesday, January 17th, 2023. I am your host, Eric Young, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, James Cush. James, it's 2023, man.
Yes, and we are in mid-season form.
We are, yeah.
No reps needed around here.
Right.
We are back.
Yeah, we will just ignore the fact that we just did the intro twice.
Yep.
Because I had a show clip from
self-deprecating right at the start of the new year.
I had a show clip still on the soundboard from like 5 episodes ago.
So good.
Rookies.
So good. Yeah. I'm always, whenever you mess up the intro, it's always such a joy on my end of the line because I don't see anything going on, but I hear it all.
Right.
And that one was special. I'll remember that one for a while. That was good work.
Yeah. We don't do the Skype thing anymore. We don't do the video, so James doesn't get to witness in person.
Yeah, there's no visual medium here anymore. It's yeah. How was Eric? We had our Christmas special.
Yes, we did.
That was fun. How's things been since we've rolled through Christmas, we've rolled through the New Year, and now we're staring the Clash right in the face now.
Yeah.
But how was things?
Not
over
bad.
The holidays?
Ready to get back into racing. Kicked things off with watched the first round of Supercross. Not this past weekend, the weekend before, and then they went and freaking canceled round 2 because of all the rain in California.
Yeah.
And then
you've been hockey.
Yes.
Lots of hockey. I
did tune in because I have a Flow Racing subscription. I got the year subscription. So I tuned in for some of the Chili Bowl stuff, but I didn't really get into it that much this year. Maybe the lack of star power, I guess. I saw Logan Seavey won it. So good for him, and at least, a semi-big name gets the win there still. But I did not watch it because of the drivers poo-pooing, and I actually wanted to watch it more because of it. I just got too much crap going on, man. And the main event started at 1 a.m.
Yeah, didn't do themselves any.
Come on,
didn't do themselves any favors. There was one wild wreck in the preliminaries.
It was crazy.
That I'm glad that I only saw once and said, "No, I'm not watching that anymore."
Yeah.
And then that kid was totally fine.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah, he's back speaking on the podium a few days later.
Yeah, it looks like he got punched in the eye, but that was about it.
Incredible.
Man, yeah, I thought I was going to ask you about the Chili Bowl because I had the thought, not that I believe this, but that Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell made the Chili Bowl and killed it all at the same time. But the racing was still, I've kept up with the highlights and stuff. But just like you, if Larson and Bell were there, I probably would have made more of an appointment to be there because, they're just so good at what they do there. But I was keeping an eye on Briscoe. There was a couple of guys there. Rico.
Rico got a win in his preliminary night out of freaking nowhere. Went from third to the win. I did watch that feature. That was incredible.
Rico can wheel.
Yes, he can.
He's always been
Rico.
He's fun.
Brew, as they pronounced his name on the news broadcast.
Brew, yes.
Brew.
Well, he's in the Rowdy family, so I think he definitely fits the template. I know he's running the Tony Stewart circle and all those guys for a while.
Larson, I love Rico, man. I wish he was still in the truck series.
I wished that he had made it. He was. Yeah. I remember you and I talking about him. This is probably pre-pod days, but he was going to the Mud Summer Classic. I refuse to call it the Red Derby. He was going to the Mud Summer Classic, and I was like, man, this is guy. I hear a lot about Rico, and he had one full season and dabbled a little bit, but he hasn't been back. But
he was there the first year I covered it, so.
Yep, and we're going to talk about another guy later who's dabbled in the truck series and Xfinity series is making a comeback too. But
we'll see.
Lots of Eric, we, our group chat went dormant for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the Lions started winning, and it reared up again. But then we had probably the reason we're potting tonight. We had news, all sorts of news. So we I think we both had the instinct of, oh boy, Eric and James need to get together because you and I texted you. You were about to text me. It's like we need to pod.
Yeah,
I think
it's really funny. I was totally ready to message James yesterday, and cue this thing up, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I'll give it a little bit, and then James messages me and says, "Let's. I'm ready to pod." It's like, all right, I'm down.
I have the urge to pod.
I have the urge.
It's funny because I just feel like I don't know. We've been doing this now. This is going to be we started the 2017 season, so 6 years now.
Yeah, this will be number 6. I'm counting the album art on my wall. I need to get 2 printed this year. So
that's right. Yeah, so we're going into season number 6, and I feel like we just have an internal, like, weird cosmic connection. Like, yes, it's time. It is time. Once the group chat started getting a little bit rowdy, it was time. It was time.
Testing started. I mean, they're testing out at Circuit of the Americas.
Cars are on track. Kyle Busch is cheesing for photos.
Yeah.
And, I saw
and playing it up on the old TikTok, man. Him and Sam have the TikTok rolling right now.
Yeah,
I know you're not on the TikTok universe, but
yeah, I'm gonna have you keep me in the loop on what's going on.
Well, you need to see now that Twitter's dying. You need to get on TikTok.
Well, that's a whole.
There's a
Twitter.
good NASCAR TikTok's not bad. You just have to sift through all the other crap too.
I just can't. There's too much.
Did you watch the video I shared today of the guy who was at the RCR simulator?
I did. Yes.
Oh, that was sweet, man. If you guys haven't seen it, there's this dude. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he had some video of the NASCAR simulator that they use in the shop at RCR. So I didn't realize, and he pointed this out in it, that they are not allowed to have motion simulators. They can only have stationary simulators in the shops.
It can only be so real.
Yeah. But it looks pretty damn real, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So. Someday, I've been playing. So when we're not potting this time of year, for whatever reason, this time of year I have a little bit of downtime and I get to play NASCAR on the Xbox for a little bit. And that's I've been doing some of that, but
NASCAR Ignition 2021.
No, that hot mess. Good.
Maybe
Lord.
you can play NASCAR Ignition 2023.
Well,
if it ever comes out.
I tell you what, if that source code gets released, we might get an indie game that's maybe better than what we've had.
Can't get worse.
I'll take it. Cannot get any worse than what motorsports game. Although, I was going to tell you that I had my first experience with a Nintendo Switch over Christmas, and my youngest brother, who's for reference, I'm in my mid-30s. He is 19. So there's a gap there. Was talking some serious game about how he could beat me in Mario Kart, and then I led wire to wire and said, there's your Mario Kart. And that was my first experience with the Switch, and so I was like, well, I'm sitting here, the kids are busy with gifts, and I started perusing through the Nintendo shop. I was like, ooh, there's Rivals.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. All right. And then I put it away. I was like, I was going to get myself in trouble. So I put it away.
Rivals isn't bad. I mean, it's heat reskinned, but I'm good with it. It's a lot better than what we got on the next gen consoles. So, but don't go too crazy with the Switch yet, because I think there's a new Switch coming. Maybe they'll be announcing it this year. So we'll see.
Well, Eric, I like to be 3 generations of technology behind of everything. So
that is true. Yeah, you probably should run out and get a Switch right now.
Yeah, I'm. Somebody was making fun of me for my iPhone the other day, and I was like, you know what? It works.
What generation iPhone are you on, James?
Oh, I think it's the 7.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, it's bad.
I'm on the 14, man. I'm twice the iPhones ahead of you.
Yes, you are.
That is crazy.
Yep. You are the Lions, and I am the Bears. You doubled me up.
I can't even argue, James. You can take your shots, man. It's deserved. But hey, man, when we draft the first draft pick next year, and suddenly turn things around and come stomping after the Lions, we'll be golden, man.
The fact that you're saying we have to stomp after the Lions is
hey, at least we didn't miss 3 extra points in a game.
Yesterday, that was 4.
4? You missed 4?
Yes.
God, I didn't watch it. I just saw Peyton and Eli giving him crap on it.
I tuned in. So I tuned in to watch Man Campbell on Monday Night Football. It was Monday Night Football.
Yep.
And then I'm like watching the game. I'm like, boy, Tom is playing like crap. Boy, this team sucks. But it's Tom Brady. and he's missing, and this guy's missing all these kicks. I can't turn it off. And then finally I was like, okay, it's finally over. I gotta go to bed. That's the power of TV, man. I can't quit the man.
That's the new Lions quarterback next year, man. Lions are gonna bring him in.
No.
Yeah, they are.
You know, 2 years ago I would have said yes, but we got a good thing going in Detroit, and I am for the first time looking forward to a Lions season. It has been a long, long time since I've been fired up. Probably since we worked together at the newspaper.
Yeah.
I haven't been fired up in a while. I have been trying not to let them hurt me for so long.
Well,
that I'm ready to be hurt again.
You know, James, seeing as we're talking about off-season excursions and NFL football, I did get to go and watch the Lions and the Bears play.
You did.
At
I
Ford
was
Field.
jealous.
That was the worst game ever in the history of the universe. It was really great for about, I don't know, one drive while the Bears scored the opening drive touchdown, and then it sucked from there forward.
Well, I told you what to do, didn't I? Didn't I tell you?
I don't remember.
You had the Bears gear on, but you should have come with Lions gear underneath, and you could have just peeled it off. And
They did hand out. We were in the end zone, and they did hand out these really nice Lions grit scarves. Man, that was the best toilet paper I've ever used in my life. It was awesome. Great stuff.
Did you get yelled at by Detroit fans like I've been yelled at by Detroit fans?
I got crap. I got crap from people. There
good.
were Bears fans around me, so it was okay. And I debated, like, I'm not diehard Bears, especially not right now. I like to give everybody crap. It's really fun to cheer against the Lions, but I don't care that much. And I debated wearing Lions stuff because I really did want the Lions to win because I want to see the Lions make the playoffs. But I'm like, man, I've waited 10 years to watch the Bears play in person. I'm wearing my Bears stuff, even if they are going to suck. And they sucked.
Yes.
I mean, they really did suck terribly.
Well, you did your job. You got the first pick. So
yeah, exactly.
Well, I used to, back when I rooted for the Lakers before LeBron came.
That's right.
Over.
Yeah. I forgot. You've got plenty of experience as an away fan.
Oh my God. Well, the Lakers lost an overtime game at the Palace, and walking out to my car was, I got screamed at to go back to Bloomfield Hills.
Oh man.
I got called all sorts of names, and I kind of wore that with pride for a while. It probably. Cheering for the Lakers has caused me a lot of joy, but a lot of hurt at the hands of the Pistons. So
yeah, dude, I love
probably why I am the way I am. So
I love going and cheering for the away team. I mean, it's fun. It's way more fun than cheering for the home team.
Yeah, it's fun to be on the other side of things. Although the weird thing about me is I love all, Detroit sport. I've grown up rooting all Detroit sports except for basketball.
Yeah,
and then of course the Pistons beat the Lakers in the finals, and that one hurt.
Yeah, I try to
shaped me for the.
I try to stick with the Bears thing just so nobody gives me too much crap for bandwagon jumping, but I don't care that much. Like I said, most of the reason I cheer for him is just to get everybody else riled up because it's fun.
That's fine. Yes, yeah.
So.
And I've been, like I said, with most things, I have been very critical.
Yeah.
But Man Campbell, I'm telling you, I said some stuff on this podcast not that long ago, and I'm taking it all back because
I think he's the guy, man.
Showed something.
He's the dude. Literally, it's on the locker on his door, right?
Yeah. I didn't believe that a rah guy could actually rah a team like that. And my God, he pulled it off. Yeah, I'm an idiot. So there you go.
Yeah, well,
that's enough football, I think.
As long as they don't start the season 6-1 or 1-6 again, we'll be good.
Yes,
so.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Believe it or not, there is NASCAR and stock car news to talk about, and as a matter of fact, we're going to talk non-NASCAR to start things off because we got SRX news, which it's not really news anymore, James, because we recorded the podcast last episode, before the holidays, and you made a prediction on that podcast that Berlin Raceway was going to be host for one of the SRX races, and damn it if it didn't come true.
The next day.
Yeah, literally the next day, we got our schedule for the 2023 SRX season. Stafford.
Don't ask me.
Go ahead.
Don't ask me to do any predictions again, though.
Right.
I don't think I could ever. Clairvoyant Jim can't do that every episode. So.
Stafford Motor Speedway returns for its third straight season, which is great. Eldora Speedway is back again. But we get Berlin Raceway August 3rd, round 4. of the SRX series. Thunder Road Speed Bowl is round 2, Motor Mile Speedway on July 27th. Lucas Oil Speedway will wrap things up on August 17th. And then we got news today that Kevin Harvick is going to race the SRX series at Stafford in Berlin. So you get to see old Harv in Michigan racing SRX.
Yep, and Eric and I have already said,
Oh, we're
going.
going. Man. We're going. We'll be
going
there. We'll be there whether we're there as media or fans, but the hope is to be there as media, James, and rubbing elbows with all the big wigs. So much...
Eric, you know, in a perfect world, we would hit Berlin, MIS, and Eldora all in one swoop.
Could do it, man.
But
hey,
unfortunately, I probably won't be able to. But I would love to.
We could do it. We could do it.
I'm gonna tell my family you go camping by yourself.
There you go. Right.
That's the only problem with this is I wish everything was a week earlier. But I'm gonna make Berlin. I'm gonna make.
This is a bad year because there's all kinds of stuff that I want to hit. So I'm planning on doing the summer Atlanta race. Of course, I got to get some stuff ironed out with credentials there, and then I'm hoping to do the Bristol night race too this year. So, yeah, and then there's that $1 million sprint car race at Eldora that I wanted to go to, but that's right around the Atlanta weekend, and then SRX, and then
if you go to that Bristol race, you get to rub elbows with Dale Jr. He'll be racing.
That is true.
Xfinity Series that weekend. So
and then the IndyCars are racing on the streets in Detroit this year too. I was gonna try and get down there for that. Yeah. So man, it's a year. And then Junior, I don't know if he'd announced it previously or not, but on Dirty Mo Live today, they were talking about the Denny Hamlin podcast, which I think is it in the notes if it's not in the notes, but we might as well talk about that. Denny Hamlin starting a podcast on Dirty Mo. Junior said he's going to be racing in his series, the Cars Tour, at North Wilkesboro again in the Sundrop car once again for All-Star Weekend. So excellent.
Yeah, I'm pumped about that. Yeah, that's a pretty cool deal. So it was Junior, Harvick, Justin Marks, and was there a fourth who bought into the car series?
Yeah, Jeff Burton.
Thank you.
The mayor.
The mayor.
Can't forget the mayor.
Yeah. Anyway, that's cool that they're going to invest in short track racing. There's a lot of, with Stewart doing SRX and then the Cars series, and then you've got Kyle Larson kind of trying to reinvent some primetime dirt track racing. Pretty cool, like investment from some of the big guys.
Well, you've got NASCAR drivers that are trying to set up their legacies right now, and you can even include Denny Hamlin with 2311 in there. I mean, these guys are trying to set up, and obviously Harvick is going to be retiring at the end of the season. Which that's not in the notes either, James. What the heck were you doing this weekend or today when you were putting these notes together?
Harvick on the notes?
I don't see it. You have him racing SRX. That's more important than him retiring at the end of the 2023 season.
But we already knew he was retiring.
So
we were going to talk about it regardless.
He's going to potentially be setting up his legacy as well. Probably moving to the Fox booth. So yeah, we're getting to see a little bit of what all these drivers are going to start. Oh yeah, now it's in the notes because you're typing it in as we speak. So, but
there, we gotta have it for the record,
right?
You don't like it when I type while you're talking because it really messes you up.
Yeah, I try to read it. So it's kind of cool to see, like you said, these guys investing in different areas of motorsports in general, setting their legacy a little bit and helping keep. I mean, the Cars Tour thing. Junior's a huge proponent of the Cars series, and to see him put his money where his mouth is and invest in that series, and make sure that it's healthy. That's awesome. Yeah. And that series has kind of dwindled a little bit over the years. It used to be the Hooters Pro Cup series. It's kind of stalled a little bit, but still has some popularity. Junior's been racing in it, or he's had a team in it for a while. But
Josh Berry, big name.
Yeah, Josh Berry came out of there. So,
Eric, one of the things I thought of for Harvick is not only is it a legacy play for him as a businessman, also gives him a nice little. He's got a few years here to build that series up for when Keelan is ready to get into big stock cars.
I don't know, man. Keelan was already getting fitted in the F1 car over at Haas.
He's got Keelan racing all over the world right now. So
I don't feel like Keelan's going to be racing. I don't feel like Keelan's going to be racing ovals. I could be wrong.
I don't know. Kevin wants him in many different disciplines, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the legacy for Keelan is, yeah, I mean, it would be NASCAR, right? But there's a lot of ties there for him to take a different avenue. So who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows what they're gonna do?
Old Uncle Smoke's got
maybe
the
he's the
F1 ties, so
yeah, maybe he's I thought 15 years from now we're gonna be seeing Harvick and Busch and Logano,
right.
also, and maybe a Gordon in there, all racing each other in the Cup Series again. But maybe some of these kids are gonna, F1's getting pretty big, so maybe Keelan wants to, be that great American racer we've never had over there. So, or since Mario anyway.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Speaking of open wheel guys, James, Kyle Larson's going to race the Indy 500.
Yeah, the 2024 Indy 500. I was, because I messaged you guys as soon as I saw it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say I was surprised. I'm surprised they announced it so early. But, the more I've read about it, the more I think about it, it makes total sense. They are going to put a year and a half into making a program that he can go there to win. He doesn't want to go in there and just make laps. He's going to try to win this dang thing.
I mean, it's Kyle Larson. Do you expect anything different? That he's going to win it, right?
Well, he's going to give it a dang good run.
Kyle Larson, man, young money. He's going to win this sucker.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. It's tough because it's so hard. Great drivers. I mean, Jimmy Johnson had a good run last year, and we saw Kurt Busch have a good run. I think Kyle will eventually have a good run in the 500 at some point in the future. Probably in this race. I would think Kyle Busch is gunning for the 2024 Indy 500 as well. So
you would think so.
He wants to do it.
The longer he goes before he does it, the less chance it's going to be that he's actually going to do it. Kyle's.
Yeah.
It's funny we're talking about Kyle getting old, but he's starting to get there. That the opportunities are going to dry up in that series if he doesn't get it done.
Yeah, I think he's been close. So I think he'll. And now that he's Chevy affiliated too, I think that gives him a little more opportunity.
Well, Chevy affiliated, RCR is already in on that deal and stuff, so.
Yeah,
I think
I
think the path's probably clear. It's just a matter of sponsorship at this point. And obviously, they're not having any trouble picking up sponsorship for him right now.
No,
keep adding sponsors.
Picking them up and knocking them down.
Yeah.
But this also is interesting because Rick Hendrick will be a presence with this team.
Yeah.
Car will be sponsored by Hendrick Cars, and then Rick Hendrick's got some ownership stake in what this car is going to become. So very cool. I'm very excited to see Kyle Larson run the Indianapolis 500. I just think he's one of the best wheelmen in the entire world. And,
oh, yeah.
I love that NASCAR and IndyCar kind of embracing the double a little bit more now. It's a lot easier than it used to be, and hopefully Kyle will have a good showing.
I want to see more guys do it. I'm excited about it. Regardless of who it is, I'm excited about somebody trying it again.
Yes, absolutely.
Always so much more interesting when you have that stake in both races,
Yeah, I want to see somebody, not to say that Tony has the record, but somebody to win one of the races, you know? What did Tony get, 4th and 6th or 6th and 4th or something like that? Yeah. And ran all the laps. He's the only one who's ever done it, and I just think nowadays it can be done.
Right.
Like, it can be done. We could see. I mean, Jimmy Johnson has not ruled out the 2023 Indy 500 yet. So yeah. Would he run the double? I don't know.
It'd be interesting.
Yep, absolutely.
Speaking of guys out of their element, James.
Yeah, this is a good one. I'm real excited about this one. I don't know about you.
A failed Xfinity Series driver is going to try to run the Daytona 500 this year. Travis Pastrana going to try to qualify for 2311. Running a 67 car. We found out today. I give Travis a hard time. I love Travis, and I wish he would have made it in NASCAR for sure. Probably,
man of the people.
Man, probably a little out on a limb to make this race. I mean, what are there, 4 slots that you can get in? 2 slots?
Yeah,
2
it's
slots,
gonna be
4
tight.
slots.
It's gonna be. I think it's 4.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the car count go up, honestly, but it's
right.
tough because it's still kind of fun that those spots really matter.
Well,
in the week, so
and with the car counts, if you add more cars to the field, you hurt the prize money too. So,
right, exactly.
But my dog's losing in the background. I'm sure you can hear.
Yeah, but but I was gonna say, Travis had been on the record years ago saying that someday he wants to run the Daytona 500. And a lot of people were thinking that Carl Edwards was coming out of retirement and all this other stuff. And nope, it was Travis put a sponsorship deal together, and he wants to come and have a good time. I am very much looking forward to Travis. He's just such a wildly different personality from what we're used to. You know, a lot of NASCAR drivers are fan friendly, but I don't know if anybody's as fan friendly as Travis. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. And the other thing is too, is like, I totally envy that guy, because Travis could have been really great at something, but he's chosen to do everything.
Really good at everything.
I mean, he has done everything he's wanted to do. I mean, just
he's
incredible.
Racing cigarette boats right now.
Yeah,
that's what he's been doing.
This guy, I mean, he could have been a Supercross champion, but decided to go and do freestyle motocross and make a career in that. I mean, he's had so many careers between that and rally racing, and he was a NASCAR driver for a while. It's incredible the stuff he's done, and
I think
he's living the dream, man. Well, I mean, plus he's got a lot of broken bones to you know.
Yeah.
But
I think though, for him, freestyle motocross is probably his legacy.
Oh yeah.
He was the guy to take it to the next level.
Definitely.
You know, I think
well,
he was probably,
I will say that him and Brian Deegan, honestly, and those two, it's funny because they were such rivals, and they hated each other, but they didn't hate each other. They both knew what they were doing. That rivalry that they had in freestyle motocross made that sport what it was. But Pastrana played a huge role in it, because Pastrana was marketable versus Deegan, who was the bad guy that nobody wanted to sponsor.
Well, you had a good versus evil type of thing. There's a great documentary about them. I can't remember what the dang name of it is, but if you Google Brian Deegan, Travis Pastrana motocross documentary, it'll pop up somewhere. I've watched it. It's very good.
Yeah.
There was a time where the Meta Militia would talk about maybe bringing Travis under their arm, but he was such a he was just not the mold. He was such a clean cut kid. He looked like he was from suburbia, and he could never make that heel turn. Exactly. Like he would. Yeah, he was, but he's fearless, absolutely fearless.
Yeah.
And super skilled on the bike. But yeah, and then he transitioned into rally, and he was really good at that. Won a lot of rally races, and
X Games gold in multiple disciplines.
Yeah, rally. Incredible. Yeah, that's another thing he was the pioneer of. Is that what is it? That super rally or
rallycross.
Super rallycross. Yeah, rally. You know, inside the stadiums. Heck, I remember them racing at Bristol.
Yep.
For rallycross. So yeah, what a life.
Yeah.
He lived his way, man. You know, that's for sure.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Definitely.
I'm excited. Now he's racing for Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
How about that?
Right. That's incredible. I mean, I hope he makes it, but that's a steep hill to climb, man. Even in a 2311 car, it's a steep hill to climb to get in one of those coveted spots in the 500. Not going to be easy.
He raced in the Truck Series in 2020. That's the last time he's raced in NASCAR. So, I mean, he's been out as long as Jimmy Johnson has. But two different career resumes.
A little different there. And well, I mean, that's something to note too, James, is that not only is he trying to get into the Daytona 500 for one of those few spots, but he is going to be racing Jimmy Johnson for that spot or one of those spots in the Daytona 500. One of his heroes, because Jimmy Johnson is, and by the way, I called it. I don't know if I called it on the podcast, but I called it. Jimmy Johnson's going to drive the 84 car in the Daytona 500.
Yes.
And he's going to race for the Nelly, according to James's notes, or the newly named Legacy Motor Club. and Jimmy says, apparently, James has in the notes, Jimmy says you have to use all caps when you spell that out.
Yes, I saw that on Twitter. Or Legacy MC.
Okay.
Not just Legacy.
Let's talk about Legacy Motor Club, because you and I are both fans of this name, but a lot of people are not.
Yeah. People are mad that Petty's not in it.
Yeah.
I think...
Petty isn't it? It's Legacy, for God's sakes. I mean, Petty's part of the Legacy.
It's Jimmy and Richard. I mean, it's 2 7-time champs.
How much owner stake
does... Of course, the Gallagher family.
How much ownership stake does Richard Petty have in this organization anymore? Pretty much was just the name on it.
Honestly, I don't think Richard has any ownership. I think he's an ambassador. I don't think he... Yeah, I don't think he has any stake anymore, other than the 43 car being in there, but...
Yeah.
People know what the 43 car is. I'm not worried about it.
Nope. No, and I like the
Legacy
Legacy
Motor.
Motor.
Petty Enterprises. for 20 years.
Yeah.
It's been 20 years since we've had Petty Enterprises. It's been a front to someone else as an owner ever since. It's not any different than it is now.
Right.
The 43 is not going anywhere.
I like the name. It's very non-NASCAR, which I like that fact. It does
Almost
feel a little out of
soccer.
place, but it's okay. I like it.
Yeah, it's almost like soccer, you know.
Yeah.
I think that they're calling it Legacy Motor Club is a bigger play than just NASCAR. They're going to be doing other things, I think.
Right.
Too.
I agree.
It gives them a lot of avenues to branch out and to try other stuff. I mean, Trackhouse is doing the same thing.
Yep.
It's not Trackhouse Motorsports or Trackhouse Racing. It's just Trackhouse.
Yep.
So we've got Legacy Motor Club. Fine, absolutely.
100%. I think this is a lot of what you're going to see going forward with NASCAR ownership. It's not just going to be
branding,
NASCAR.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just branding.
Yep. New ARCA driver this season, James, going to attempt to make the Daytona race. Frankie Muniz, and I pronounced his name correctly, so you don't get to laugh at me.
You got it.
I got it.
You got it.
And interestingly enough, so the main reason I included this in here is not only is he making his start in the ARCA series at Daytona, but he is also driving the same car that Sterling Marlin raced in the 2001 Daytona 500. CGR 005 is the chassis number. Sterling Marlin actually raced this in multiple restrictor plate races, including the famous 2002 fender pull Daytona 500, where he wrecked Gordon on the front stretch and then had to try to pull the fender out on the back stretch and lost that race. And beyond that, they raced it, and then it was sold to ARCA teams, and it's run a few ARCA races on restrictor plate tracks in the past, and now Frankie Muniz gets to make his start in that car. There's
running for a title.
Yeah, there's a link in the show notes to NASCAR Man History. He did a history lesson on this car back prior to the 2021 Daytona race. It's really interesting, so definitely worth checking out. So check that out if you want to check out the show notes. But yeah, it's interesting to see that this car that is, from 2001 and actually from 99 was when it was built, is still around, still racing. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it was, I mean, the two iconic Daytona 500 moments,
Yeah.
obviously it's been involved in. Frankie was on a podcast saying that, and there's a picture of him
Yes.
in the pace car with this car in the background.
Yeah, he was the pace car driver in 2001.
Yeah, and he was famously the last one of the last people to ever talk to Dale Earnhardt.
Yep.
Before he got in the car.
Yep.
But also, I thought the other interesting part of this was he was telling a story about how Ken Schrader and his people had given him an M&M's jacket. And
Yeah.
It was autographed by Sterling Marlin, Ken Schrader, and Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
All the three individuals who were involved in that infamous wreck. It's very eerie, I guess, but maybe explains a lot about why racing has always been such a big part of Frankie's, I guess he says this is where he's meant to be. So
Yeah. He said he was a huge,
I mean,
he was a huge
37.
NASCAR fan back then. That was his first
Yep.
race, and that was what kicked it off, basically. And I think we've joked about Malcolm on this podcast a couple times and his newfound racing career and all that. But hey, man, he's getting a chance to do it. Good luck to him. I hope he does well. And hey, man, it's more eyeballs on the sport, even.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as not the same, but I mean, he's got the means. He's not he's raced cars,
Right.
So
Yeah, he's not just
I mean, why
jumping
not
into
get him
this
in the
ride. He's not getting a cup ride right out of the bat. He's running an ARCA race, and he's
Yeah.
been working his way up through late models and stuff. So
It's easy to laugh him off, and I understand it. And I think there's a lot of people who drive in the ARCA series who aren't qualified to
Right.
drive in the ARCA series. But I think that that's the place. If you're you've got the means to race there, then by all means go for it.
yeah, yep, I agree.
I'm not going to say he doesn't belong there when there's lots of people who may not belong in such
It's true.
in such play. I mean, we've seen how many times we watch ARCA and we get terrified of what we see
Yeah.
out there. So
Every time they get on
It's
a
not
track that's bigger than a half
Frankie.
mile.
oh my god, yeah. So I'm actually kind of worried for Frankie, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's not even about him as much as it is everybody else. It's a freaking ARCA series.
Right.
But hopefully the ARCA series starts to get some momentum in the positive direction. And all jokes aside, hopefully we'll see the ARCA series continue to grow. It's gonna be kind of fun to keep an eye on Frankie.
Yeah.
Throughout the season, see how he's doing.
We need that series to be healthy. It'll be better for everybody if that series is healthy. So hopefully it continues to get this injection of extra funding and extra drivers and extra teams to keep it rolling, because it's good to have around. It's good to have a feeder series. I mean, there's got to be a place to go and learn on these big tracks. And if they're not doing it in the ARCA series, guess what? They're doing it in the Truck series. And if they're not doing it in the Truck series, they're doing it in the Xfinity series. So we have this series for that reason. It's perfect. Let's let them get the experience there. So,
yep, exactly.
James, you broke this news to me. I was pretty excited. Old Chicagoland Speedway's coming back, isn't it?
Roaring back to life with Super Motocross. It's kind of your worlds colliding, Eric.
It is.
That's why I reached out to you. I'm like, man, this is you.
Yeah, I'm still struggling with this Super Motocross thing. I get it, but they're trying real hard to tie these two series together. But I mean, it's good for motocross and Supercross in general that these two series have always kind of been together and separate at the same time, and now it's all part of one deal. But if you're not familiar, there's the Supercross season, which is usually 17 rounds of racing in stadiums, and they race at Daytona in the Tri-Oval, and then the last couple of years they raced at Atlanta in the Tri-Oval as well. And then they kick off, then they've crowned a champion there, and they run an outdoor series on outdoor motocross tracks where they start 40 riders instead of 20. And they do that throughout the summer. And then previously there was nothing in the fall. They used to do a special one-off race that was just kind of an exhibition type thing. But that went away with COVID. And then last year, FIM, which used to be partnered with Feld and Supercross, started its own Supercross series, World Supercross, to try and not compete, but kind of compete with this one. And so Supercross and Motocross combined this year to create Super Motocross, which is two separate series that combine into one series, and they'll have three playoff races to finish the season out after the motocross season. They will race on Supercross / motocross style track at the ZMAX Dragway in Charlotte. They will run the second round at Chicagoland Speedway, and then the final round will be at a place near and dear to NASCAR fans' hearts now after the Clash. They will finish it out at the LA Coliseum with the championship round in the fall. So pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna add this to the list of things, James. But I want to get down to Chicagoland.
I know how much you've been wanting to see Chicagoland come back. So
yeah, well, my stepdad wants to get a plane ticket and go to LA to watch the race in the Coliseum. So we'll see what happens there. But
holy smokes,
if that happens, I won't go to Chicagoland. I'll just go to LA. But
yeah,
Chicagoland probably going to be cheaper.
Well, Chicagoland, I think the news for us on the NASCAR side, though, Chicagoland not dead yet.
Yeah.
Not quite dead just yet.
They are going to take out sections of the catch fence, though, to do this. So that worries me a little bit.
Well,
that's no big deal. They can put that back up.
Yeah, and I think, too, NASCAR, if something ever happens with the Chicago street race, it's a backup plan.
I don't think the Chicago street race is a permanent thing.
No, I think it's a maybe 2-year deal.
Yeah.
It's already got political trouble.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I mean, if it goes out and is a big success this year, then maybe. But
yeah,
if it's not, if it falls the way that, the Nashville IndyCar race has done a couple times, it might cause some issues. It might not.
Yes.
Might be done before we know it, but we'll see.
Yeah. This is cool. That Charlotte Dragway layout is pretty sick.
Yeah.
It's
all pretty cool. So basically they're taking the two disciplines. They're trying the plan in the press release they talked about is they have a stadium section where you can sit in your seats and see most of the track. And then they have sections where you can basically, line the fence along the track and watch it as well. So it's going to be kind of a mix between Supercross and motocross. I'm optimistic. I'm not the biggest motocross fan. I like the Supercross stuff, so I don't really pay attention during the summer very much.
Yeah.
But this will definitely get my attention back in the fall, so we'll see.
Yep. Heck yeah.
But yeah, anytime there's something going on at Chicagoland Speedway, I'm excited about that.
Yep.
Speaking of the LA Coliseum, James, we have a halftime performer or a break performer for the Busch Light Clash.
Yes.
Yeah. Wiz Khalifa is going to perform.
Wiz Khalifa. Yeah. Interesting choice, I know, for some NASCAR fans, but I love it, man.
Yeah.
I don't listen. I don't listen to Wiz Khalifa's music. I know the song from Fast and the Furious.
Dude, I'm a big fan. Sucker for the Pain, Young,
Are
Wild,
you-
and Free. I listen to
you-
Wiz Khalifa all the time, man. He is.
Are you being serious? Or are you
No,
just
I
messing
am
with me?
lying. I literally have
All right.
Apple Music right now up, and I'm reading you.
Good deal. Good. You almost had me going there for a second.
No, I will say that the first 3 songs that I clicked on, I've heard. Young, Wild, and Free with Bruno Mars, definitely a song that I've heard.
Yeah.
What was the other one that I saw today that was like, oh yeah, I hear that. Oh, Payphone with Maroon
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
I really
Well,
actually love that song. So, but
Here's the thing. We're joking about this. Obviously, it's not our demo. It's not our demo, right?
Right.
We like other types of music. That's totally fine, and I'm sure that's the way it is for most NASCAR people. However, we are bringing NASCAR to LA.
Yep.
You got to LA it up.
Yes, exactly. 100%.
So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be for the people in the stands.
Yep.
And I think it'll be kind of cool to see. I don't know. That's a pretty popular. Probably pretty popular performer.
Yeah.
On a national level.
Yeah,
So I'm
it really is a big thing. We can make fun of it all we want, but that's a huge deal.
I love country music, but how many times can we have a country music singer sing at a NASCAR race?
Right.
My God.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done it. We've done it all.
No, this
So,
is awesome. I mean, again, this Busch Light Clash is very similar to the Chicago Street Race in that this is not a race for the typical NASCAR fan. You're not
Right.
pulling
It's
a
a special
camper
event.
up to the LA Coliseum and camping in the parking lot to
Right.
watch this race. It is a stadium race, different fan base. Yes, us diehards will tune in as well.
Yep.
But there'll be something for us as well.
Yep.
And maybe this halftime performance isn't, but I'll listen to it. I'll enjoy it. It's fine.
I'll check it out.
It's no
I
different.
I listened to Ice. I listened to Ice last year.
Yeah.
Ice Cube being, and that's more of my. See, that's the thing. Like, I loved rap music back in the day, but
Right.
I feel like I've aged out of it.
I
so-
don't hate on any music. I worked in top 40 radio for a little while, so I listened to everything.
Yeah.
But I don't really like I said. I say I don't listen to him. I don't seek him out. But obviously, I know a bunch of his songs. Because when I hear him, I go, oh yeah, I know that song.
I mean,
So-
he made me cry at the movies because of that dang song he did. And I love those Fast and the Furious movies back in
Yeah.
the day. So, dang it.
No, this is a good thing though, and again, it's exposing NASCAR to a new fan base. And guys, diehard NASCAR fan or not, if you want the sport to survive, we need new fans. So whatever can be done to bring new fans into the sport, whether it's racing in a stadium, whether it's having rap singers perform during halftime of the race, whatever it takes, let's do it.
Eric, I don't know if people in this country realize this, but you can have things both ways and not be offended by it.
Right?
You can enjoy the race and then leave the room and then
Right.
come back if you're not interested in
Go-
something on the screen. My God.
Yeah, go grab a pop or a
Yes.
soda, as they say in LA, and
Yes.
and get yourself something to snack on. Maybe if you're at the Coliseum, you don't enjoy
And
it, go use the bathroom and come back and watch some more racing.
And the best part about it is you don't have to piss and moan about it. You
Right.
can just let it be a thing.
Yeah.
Let us piss and moan about everything.
And
that's
if
what
you
we're
don't
here for.
if you don't want to listen to it if you're at the event, then just don't wear ear protection during the first half of the race, and you'll be good. You won't
That's
hear
right.
it at all.
You'll be totally fine. Exactly. Or go get a hot dog.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that simple. I'm gonna solve all the world's problems with that type of thinking, right there.
Right. See, James, I am encouraging a new James this year. I want a non-hater James this year.
Oh, that's tough.
We're already starting.
I'm gonna
You're
try my
very
best.
positive here to start the season. I'm excited about this.
I'm trying my best. Although I saw one of my favorite NASCAR drivers is following some people on Twitter, and it made me bummed out.
Oh, no.
Recently, I won't
All
say
right,
who, but I got sad. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to unfollow as much people as possible on Twitter, and that might lead to me being sad for a little bit. But I'm okay right now. I'm
There
happy.
you go. NASCAR has made some changes to safety requirements. They are now requiring, James, a head sock or helmet skirt for drivers, underwear. I'm assuming that means fire-proof underwear,
Thank God.
and socks for NASCAR drivers. Previously, didn't have to wear socks. It was only recommended. So, nice to see NASCAR
know,
getting with the times here. Maybe they're going to
I
start
didn't know
requiring
underwear
helmets
wasn't
too.
required.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Yeah, that's probably a good thing. I didn't know underwear. I thought underwear was just required for everybody in everyday life. But
Right.
apparently not.
Yeah, generally
so.
that is a good decision is to wear underwear.
I try very hard not to go commando as
Yeah.
much as possible. So
Right.
hopefully our NASCAR drivers are doing the same
Yeah. I mean, those fire suits
for
can't...
safety purposes. Of course, safety
The
purposes.
fire suits can't be comfortable when you're freeballing, man. Right?
You said it. You said it.
With that, before the season even starts, we're going to be taken off the air.
Well, the funny thing is all of the reporters are tweeting this out, and the picture on Twitter gets cropped, and all it says is underwear required, and it just makes me laugh when I see it. I'm like, of course,
It's pretty funny.
yes.
Now
You don't
they
need skid marks.
Well, James, they did not specify it has to be clean underwear, though. So,
That's right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, a
And
lot of
skid
these
marks
guys
in more
have
ways than
wives.
one. Yeah.
A lot of these guys have wives. Probably get that done for them, but not all of them.
Yes. That's right. Yes. That's right.
And look at me. Look
Oh
at me
my
being
God.
chauvinistic. That guys can do laundry too.
I do most of the laundry in my house.
Yeah,
like
I'm
99% of the laundry.
Well, laundry is my job. I've volunteered for that job in my house. However, it still doesn't get done very well.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't volunteer for that role in your house.
Yeah.
Your house is a little different than my house.
Yeah. Well, my kids store all their.
You've got you've got hockey equipment to deal
Yeah.
with, which has to be on the scale of stinkiest things in the world. Hockey equipment
Definitely.
has to be very high on the list.
If
like
you-
top 10
if you
stinkiest
look at-
things you could possibly.
Any picture of a hockey locker room, there's always a giant fan in there, and there's a reason for that.
It's got to be one of the. It's just got to be a god awful smell.
Dude, all you have
It's
to do
just
is
gotta be
sit
terrible.
behind the bench in a hockey game.
I tell you
and
what,
can smell
Eric.
it.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
The Shrine Circus is coming to the Tower Event Center, and it's probably going to smell better.
Yeah.
This weekend than when the Spirit are playing.
Yeah, probably. That's true.
Oh man,
Very true.
you can't even deny it. Yeah, yeah.
Nope. No, it's
Hey,
it's
I
awful.
played football. I played football in high school, and that has got to be about the same, and especially during summer two-a-days when you're not washing anything.
Yeah,
It's-
they.
oh my god.
I read an article once. I think it was in like Sports Illustrated. It was one of the reporters describing what a hockey locker room smelled like, and he said something along the lines: if you wanted to duplicate the smell, you take like a boiling bucket of water and dump in like several bags of Doritos and just let them soak and stink up like. And it's like, yeah, I could see that.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. But my kids tend to store their dirty laundry everywhere but where the dirty laundry is supposed to go. So I always get I'll get caught up with laundry, and it's like, oh sweet, we're done, and then they dump everything down the laundry chute, and there's 6 loads worth of laundry. It's lovely,
Oh my god.
lovely.
Oh my god.
So on that
I
note,
can only imagine. I only have to deal with ballet, so
yeah, right?
I'm good.
We're
I'm good
out of
so far.
NASCAR news now, so we're talking about laundry, guys.
Well, we missed one. I forgot to
What
put
did
in
we
the
miss?
notes.
What did we miss?
Well,
You forgot a lot of
speaking
stuff in the notes, James.
Well, we forgot that the Hall of Fame's on Friday.
Yes, that's right.
Shame on me, but yeah, Matt Kenseth's going in, Kirk Shelmerdine, and James, I knew it off the top of my head. I tried to be fast and go off the top of my
I
head.
don't remember, so
It is
some professionals.
Where are
we
you,
are.
Hall of Fame? Yeah, professionals. My God, where is the Hall of Fame link? I had it and now I lost it. Oh my God, now it's just getting way too long. But anyway, Matt Kenseth, Kirk Shelmerdine, and where's the list?
Oh my gosh, I literally have the page up.
Well, let me filibuster. So Matt Kenseth obviously won over almost 40 races in the Cup Series. He's a champion. God, doesn't seem like he stepped away that long ago. And Kirk Shelmerdine, Dale Earnhardt's crew chief, also a racer in his own right. So Herschel McGriff, thank God, I figured it out. There it is, Herschel
Yeah,
McGriff.
the article I found was the before the vote. So stupid.
I'm so embarrassed.
That's pretty rough. Like I said, I didn't.
It was
Didn't
on the tip of
remember
my tongue
either.
the whole time.
See if you'd had
God.
if you'd had it in the show notes, you could have prepared.
Well, I remembered after I remember a lot of things after but Herschel McGriff, 4 wins in the Cup Series all time. Interesting. He's an interesting addition.
Yeah.
More of a lifetime achievement edition, I think. He's the legend, right? I know there's tiers for the Hall of Fame now, and Matt Kenseth is he's our recent one. Then we've got Kirk Shelmerdine on the crew chief side, and then Herschel. So
right.
I think Herschel gets in as one of the pioneers of NASCAR. I mean, he was there from the beginning. So
yeah.
But
yeah, very cool. So
there you go.
So yeah, that's this weekend.
Yeah, Friday.
On that note too, we have the Clash coming up in a couple of weeks. So our broadcasting plan, I guess you could call it, we're going to take next week off, and then we will be back with a new podcast the following week, previewing the 2023 Clash at the Coliseum, Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum. That will be our season premiere of the podcast. So we'll have some new podcast art, guys, and we need your help because we have some options. Got some pictures that I took during my North Carolina, South Carolina trip. We got 3 covers. I'll put all 3 of them up there. I think there's really 2 to choose from. But we have a picture of the front stretch Darlington after the Southern 500. We have a picture of the mural or the NASCAR Winston Cup signage at North Wilkesboro as an option. And we have a shot of North Wilkesboro with the sunset in the background and the late models on pit road. So those are options for the podcast cover. I'm going to throw them on Twitter, let you guys hit me back and let me know what you think should be chosen. I'll put it on Twitter and Facebook. So the Super Speedway on Facebook, facebook.com/the Super Speedway, T Super Speedway on Twitter. We both places. I'm sure James will share it as well. Mm-hmm. So we can get you guys' opinions, and you guys can help choose the podcast cover for this season. Because we like them all. Especially the first 2 I really like. So, but it's you guys' podcast, so I want you guys to choose. So help us out.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. We both, I said to you, it's a 2-way tie for me.
Yeah.
It's the Winston Cup mural or Darlington.
Yeah.
And any other year, that Darlington one's a no-brainer. But that dang North Wilkesboro
and
mural,
the fact that they're going to keep it too is that's even more reason to have it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's not as pretty. It's certainly not as pretty as the Darlington one. The Darlington one looks beautiful, but yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Tough choice.
Yes,
so help us out. We appreciate it.
We're gonna need it. We want help this time. It's too close to call. We can't decide ourselves. So just another way for us to get some engagement with our listeners, which always surprises me how many people listen. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, me too. Also, James will be working out the kinks, I assume, for the fantasy league again prior to the Daytona 500. That's a few weeks away yet.
Strutting into the season.
Yeah, we're gonna have to listen to James brag all season. So
no,
please, guys, re-sign. If you haven't joined before, join this year. Participate so you guys can knock James off his pedestal because I can't. Right. I suck at fantasy.
Who wants a shot at the champ? That's right.
Yep.
No, I like I said last year, I got one. So much like Matt Kenseth, I'm a lock for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you say that though until you get a lead, and then you're gonna be all in again.
Boy, I tell you, last year I don't know what's worse, trying to chase down Ranger or trying to hold off the field like I did last year. That was pretty brutal. I think if we had one more week in the season last year, I'm definitely not the champion. I limped to the finish line last year, but had enough of a cushion to get through. So, whew. Yeah, not looking forward to starting that up again. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I know.
But,
I'm not looking forward to stressing out more than I absolutely have to for something that I don't care about, but I do so much.
I know. Gosh darn it.
If we keep doing it until I win a championship, we'll be doing it for the rest of our lives.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Anything else, James? Anything else you want to talk about before we head on out of here for another week?
Yeah, I did one thing. I saw that our buddy Barron had put his racetracks back up for sale, and I got mine, and it is just awesome. It's just awesome. I love it.
That's very
cool. My girls have been playing with it. Mostly my youngest. My youngest is actually into cars a little bit, so I'm trying to foster that.
Yeah, definitely.
but she doesn't play with it the way I would. It's usually just, but it's fun. I posted on Instagram just to, share that I had gotten one and how cool it is. And I hope that people who like this podcast, if you have little kids who are into cars like you and I were when we were kids, it's a cool thing. And I just wanted to support him. He supports us. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but it was cool. He sent it out and it was all Venmo and it was real easy. And I don't know, it was cool.
Cool.
But yeah, I keep it. I caught myself telling my 2-year-old, "You gotta be a little more gentle," and I'm like, "She's 2. She doesn't understand." But I got a couple of my old die casts out, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll play with you." And yeah. So it was kind of cool, daddy-daughter time. But
I need to get
Eric,
one of those.
Yeah, it's what we had imagined we would have when we were kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like exactly what we always wanted. So
well,
I had to do it.
We've already warned Barron, and he listens to the podcast, so he'll hear this again. That we're gonna raid his place when we head out to Berlin for the SRX race. So we're gonna definitely have to check out Barron Speedway in person. So we'll be all over it.
That's on my to-do list as well. Yep.
There you go. James, where can people find you on social media if they want to hit you up before the season starts?
It's still at James Cush on Twitter for now.
Yeah.
So let's keep that going.
I'm at TSuperspeedway on Twitter. You can only use the actual Twitter clients to get there anymore, though, because all the third-party clients have been destroyed. So, yeah. Thank Elon. Meanwhile, Facebook, you can find us at facebook.com/thesuperspeedway. Our website is thesuperspeedway.com. You can find old episodes of the podcast, show notes, links to articles we discussed, past race coverage, photos, and much, much more. You can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Wherever you found us today, we hope you subscribe and continue to listen. Like I said, taking a week off. We'll be back in 2 weeks to preview the Busch Light Clash, and then probably just rolling from there as the season rolls on, heading into Daytona and beyond. So looking forward to the 2023 NASCAR season and getting things up and rolling and ready to go racing. Until then, everybody, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks. Let's go racing.